kids, and this guy has the gall to suggest that a tweet by an MP is what is propagating a class war. Like, honestly, fuck off. Bridget Philipson is the Secretary of State for Education. She's from Sunderland. Originally, she was born in Gateshead. So she sounds pretty Geordie, right? I only found this out earlier, actually. Back in the day, I don't know if this is common knowledge. This was news to me, right? Back in the day, did you know that her mum signed her up for drama club when she was in school? And she actually ended, like, she's Geordie, right? She actually ended up getting cast as an extra on Biker Grove. She was literally on Biker Grove back in the day. Is that a common, did most people know that, do they already? I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. You know, bit of politics trivia for the viewers there. You don't get that on newsagents, do you? So, Bridget Philipson, she's been Education Secretary since Labour won power last year, and she has been overseeing the VAT on private schools thing, of course, in partnership, in alignment with Rachel Reeves' Treasury, which a report came out, and it said there has been no discernible impact on the state school sector as a result of the VAT on private schools policy that got rolled out by Labour. No discernible impact at all. So all of that talk, all of that pearl clutching, hysteria, front pages of the rags, all of that not even that soft, all of that hard lobbying by the Telegraph, and the stats are in. And basically they say this. They say, you know how you said that the schools couldn't afford it and they would have to close, and they were closing. Look, here's all of these examples of schools that are closing. And it's definitely not because people aren't having enough babies to fill up these schools. It's definitely the VAT policy. Or the ones that weren't closing, they were passing the VAT on to the parents, jacking up the bills. Curiously, at the same, if not worse, a rate as they've already jacked up the bills for like the last 15 years. Every fucking private school jacks up their bills at a higher rate than inflation. But anyway, front page of the Telegraph every week, they would say, oh yeah, and the parents putting their kids out and they're going to overwhelm the comprehensive state school sector. Well, it turns out it was all horseshit. How about an apology, I wondered. How about a correction? And guys, I checked the Telegraph earlier. You'll be delighted to hear. I checked the Telegraph's articles. You can search their database, sort of thing. I typed in private school, and there's nothing there. There's no apology. There's no correction. No mention of this schools in England finding the study. Nothing. So I guess they just haven't got around to it yet. I think that's probably what happened. So private schools aren't closing off the back of Labour's VAT thing. State schools aren't in receipt of huge numbers of ejected private school kids. Bridget Philipson got into a bit of trouble a couple of weeks back because the Treasury rejected calls to delay the rollout of the VAT on private schools policy, and then she expanded on it. She said, I quite like this, she said state schools need teachers more than private schools need embossed stationery. She said state schools need careers advice more than private schools need AstroTurf. Like, that's, I like it. I like the brutality. I'm feeling it, Bridget. And then this is the bit that I love, is in response to this, Tory whip, a guy called Dr. Luke Evans, he reads this thing where she's like, you know, state schools need teachers more than private schools need embossed stationery. Luke Evans reads it, shits his tits about it, and he says the post reeks of prejudice and propagates a class war. That's what he says. And I love it. I love it. I love how instantly offended they get. It reeks of prejudice and propagates a class war, does it? Like what they lack in self-awareness, they make up for in performative outrage, don't they? Like maybe Luke Evans should have gone to the fucking drama club. Fuck me. I mean, like, seriously, like, because they put the VAT on private schools, right? And we've talked about this before. But a private school education is a luxury item. It is. Now, more so than ever, because, you know, I think I talked about this on the paper review one day this week. Like, to send your child to a private school now, you have to be not even the top 5% of earners. You've got to be in like the top 1 or 2% of earners in the country to be able to take that hit of 20 grand per child per year, to have that as liquid cash. What are you doing for a living? Do you own a company? Are you into weapons trafficking? So it's a luxury item. This is inarguable. It's like Booper, but for education. You don't have to have it, do you? But if you choose to, you know, dip your toe into a little bit of opulence, that's fine. You know, it's your money. Do what you like with it. But you should accept that it is an opulent accessory to your life. And just like every other luxury item in your life, I'm sorry, but you probably should pay some fucking VAT on it. It's not rocket science. Like the fact that it didn't have VAT on it before, and it was permitted that these fucking privilege factories could be classed as charities. Oh, rub that salt in the wound, son. The fact they didn't have to pay VAT before and they were supposedly charities, to the detriment of regular kids going to state schools just up the road, rocking up and seeing their roofs cave in and fall in, breeze blocks coming out the ceiling, selling off their sports fields, asking parents to chip in for the school's bog roll and stationery. Like, none of that is made up, by the way. All of that are things that have happened in the state school sector, while these charities have remained VAT exempt the whole time. So the luxury tax-dodging nature of the private school system absolutely ruins and robs the educational experience of working class kids. And this guy has the gall to suggest that a tweet by an MP is what is propagating a class war. Like, honestly, fuck off.
Just another